Hi everyone, I'm Riva, and in this video, we're going to start playing with WAAM theory and apply it to some real life situations. And if you're new to this channel or new to me talking about WAAM theory, I recommend you go back to my first video on this where I explained world as a mirror theory or WAAM theory and kind of the basis of it and what it's trying to do to help us understand our reality and how we can apply this information. Now, the topic for today is going to be on understanding how we can learn from the experience of rejection in the process of a career transition. Rejection, resistance, all of it. And it can be really frustrating when you're doing all of the things, you've got your resume, you're trying to apply to all the jobs, you're contacting the recruiters, you're doing the interviews, and you one after another, you just keep getting rejections or you get no response at all. And what I want you to start to look at here is, what is the mirror showing you? So the mirror is your whole external reality. What is this experience trying to teach you? Your intention is to get a new career, but your experience is you're not getting the career. So what you want to walk through is, what are the reasons, what are the beliefs and emotions that I'm holding that are leading me to this mirrored experience of, I'm not seeing the success I want, I'm not getting the jobs that I've been applying for, and all of that. I see this most frequently when someone's transitioning careers, and there's a number of people I'm working with right now who are moving from one career to a completely different one. And it's something that I've seen with so many other people I've helped over the years with their own career transitions, especially the academia to industry one. And I've really started to hone in on this pattern that I see with every single person that I work with. Here are the underlying beliefs behind the whole mirror that are being reflected to you by the mirror. One of the biggest beliefs is, I do not deserve to have this job given my current background and experience. And then another is that I don't believe I can get this job. I don't believe I have the capacity or can convince the right person to get this job. And there's other beliefs that can be mixed in, but let's just try to keep it real simple for right now. The basic person that's trying to get a job, they really want it, they're not getting the responses they would like. And what the pattern I see behind these two beliefs is, from start to finish, where they don't have the job and they finally get the job, is they go from trying and applying and trying and applying and trying and trying and failing. And then as we work together, we work on doing things, doing tasks, doing activities that build the individual's confidence in themselves, because there's a strong lack of confidence and a lack of belief in their capability of getting this job. And over time, they start to get stronger. They get to more sure of themselves. And then there's a breaking point near the end where they finally get so frustrated with the whole process. They're like, I'm doing all of the things. They finally have the confidence that they're capable of the transition, but they're still dealing with that little nagging belief in their mind that they don't deserve to have this new career with the background they have. They just don't have that experience yet. And what I see is, there's a point where they hit that they just let go of that belief because they get so frustrated. They get so angry. They're like, why on earth am I not getting this? I've been doing everything. I've been putting all this effort in. I have an amazing resume. I've been like putting all of this effort into this. I deserve this job. Damn it. I should get this by now. And then finally, in that moment of them owning and like claiming their power, their deserving of this career transition, that's when the job offers come in. I've seen it every single time. It's the process of no confidence, gaining the confidence, and then finally owning that they deserve it. And everyone will take a different level of steps and involvement to get them over the final line. But I see them every time they get they get across the finish line and they get the job or multiple offers and the kinds of offers that they desire. Because there might be some along the way where they're breaking through some of the middle ground of, I deserve, or maybe they start to gain the confidence that they can transition, but they're not fully believing that they deserve it yet. Sometimes in that middle phase, I'll see people receive offers that are not so great. They'll start to maybe get some attention, but it's not from the right companies. It's not from the right environments. It's not the right offers that they are actually, wanting and desiring, whether that's the package that they're being offered or what it might be. But then ultimately, when they finally get to the end, breaking through both of those major beliefs, that's when they finally allow themselves to find and be seen and to experience the steps that will lead to a job offer, an opportunity, if not multiple, that are really ideal for them. I love seeing people hit that because I can see it, and I'm not going to ever just constantly tell someone, well, you're not there yet. You're not there yet. I might let them know as they're getting a little frustrated along the way. But nowadays, it's a lot easier as I'm starting to really apply WAAM theory in a more practical way and explaining this to people. People tend to respond they respond pretty well to this now. And that's why I'm sharing it with more people, because I thought, well, if it's helping some people, I may as well help more people. And what I notice is that as you acknowledge, the first step is acknowledgement. So you can do the process, which I described. That can take a while. That can take several months sometimes for some people, to go from not believing, not having that confidence, and then finally breaking through if they don't consciously know what they're doing and what they're up against. But as I see individuals acknowledge the beliefs that they're holding, and we bring that up to the surface and bring it to their awareness much earlier, and we can help work on both subconscious reprogramming as well as conscious actions to build, because I don't believe that it's necessarily needs to be 100% self-derived, that you break through all of these things just by sitting there meditating in your head. Can you? Yeah, right, maybe. But what I've seen work most effectively for people is combining the mental work with activities that reinforce that mental work, to give that person confidence, to give that person the gradual steps that will help them to evolve the proper belief system that will give them the opportunities they desire. And so the way I've found to speed this up is if people start to acknowledge, okay, and own if it's true for them. I wouldn't ever tell someone that they have to believe it's true if it's not, genuinely true. But when people hear this, they often will resonate with that message and go, maybe there's a little bit of truth in there. And it's starting with, you may not believe that you deserve this transition yet. You might believe you haven't earned it. You might believe you don't have the decade of history in the field to get this job, and so you're not going to get it. If you go into it with the subconscious mindset of that, you will trip yourself up every which way. You will not come across as confident to a recruiter. You will not come across as confident in your interviews. There will be an essence of you that's missing, that's yelling to the room, I don't deserve this. I'm not good enough for it. I don't know enough. And it's just not true. There's so many people that I've worked with who don't have a history in a field, and they're able to enter it. But it's really the mindset. And the mindset can shift in so many ways. But it's about, can you get past that first big belief that you don't deserve it yet? And acknowledge first, yeah, I don't believe that I should have this. If I were to have someone else walk up to me with my exact experience, I probably would tell them they shouldn't do it. You don't have the experience in the field and you want to get that job. Well, you're crazy. That's not going to happen. But you have to realize it's all a mirror, it's all informing you. So if you're being told from your mirrored reality, you don't believe you deserve this yet, well, your job is to get there. Your job is to believe that you deserve to get this job, which is not easy. It's easier said than done. Now, the other part was that you need to believe that you can do this. You can accomplish this. And there's a number of ways to do this. For example, sometimes it's just helping yourself understand transferable skills are a beautiful way to help convince yourself that you have the capacity to get this job. You have the skill sets that you will need when you get there. You're an intelligent person. You can learn things as you go. There in academia to industry, there's tons of transferable skills where it's like, maybe you don't have the job market language. Maybe you don't have the exact skill set, but maybe you have communication skills that you've from all of the talks you've given, or from presenting in conferences and having to present at lab meetings and having to train people. You have managerial skills. You have the ability to communicate to diverse audiences. Like, these are all skill sets. You have the ability to manage projects. Like, you might have even been involved with laboratory safety audits. Like, there's tons of skill sets you have. They're just not called what you might find them in industry to be called. And so there's so much that you can do both on the mental side. By mental, I mean true subconscious reprogramming. That's the EFT, emotional freedom techniques, the neuro linguistic programming. It's the self-hypnosis. It's all of the things. And so many more, but that's the mental side of it. So letting go of the beliefs. And if there are enough people interested, I might actually do some EFT tapping specifically to release these beliefs. That I'll put some videos out. If you guys, again, just put in the comments, send me a message, let me know. If you guys are actually interested, I'm more than happy to do that. And that'll actually help give you like a few steps forward for some actions you can start taking. But it takes you being dedicated to owning your beliefs and then acting to change them. And you can change them through the mental side and then the physical side. So I don't believe, again, that it's just in the head and mindset. It may come down to the mindset, because that's going to change and flavor every interaction you have. If you're sitting there believing you don't deserve it or you can't get it, you're not going to show up confidently in an interview. And again, the recruiter, the interviewer, the hiring manager is going to see it. They're going to smell it, and they're going to mirror back to you that you don't believe you deserve this. Because you've seen it. You've seen the people who are very entitled seeming, or that's might be what you call them, who are very confident, perhaps cocky. They go in for an interview that you might deem they should never be able to get because they don't have the credentials. And they walk out of there with like a bonus and a salary, more than the original offer and like everything. And you're sitting there going like, how the hell did that person get that? They actually believe in themselves. Is it just about that? No, at some level, you have to sort of be able to do the job too. So I'm not saying you can imagine a way to like literally anything. You can't go into a doctor's office and become a surgeon if you've never practiced medicine before. But if you're trying to switch from quality to regulatory, or from R&D to regulatory, or a lot of people switch to regulatory, but if you're trying to transition your career from one portion of industry to another, want to become a project manager now or something, it's a matter of getting your mindset in the right place where you can show up confidently and convey energetically, physically, verbally that you're ready, you deserve this, and you're going to do a damn good job. And by golly, why don't you hire me? Like, it would be crazy for you not to hire me. That's the attitude and mindset you need to get to, but it takes time to get there. One of the ways, the more proactive ways where you take action, I love action in addition to the mindset. One of the actions that you can take for this is, I love it. And if you've ever talked with me, I say this all the time, informational interviews. Informational interviews are one of the single most effective ways to build up your confidence. Why? I recommend people do informational interviews with people who have similar backgrounds to themselves, who are now in the field that they want to go into. So for me, when I was a grad student, it was somebody else, or when I was a postdoc, I would do interviews with people who had PhDs and who also were in regulatory. And I did interviews up the wazoo, so many different people I talked to. I reach out blindly on LinkedIn in different ways and just say, hey, I'm trying to make this career jump and I see you've done it. And I would be so grateful if you would mind, sharing some of your experiences with me. I would talk with every single one of them. I would learn what was it in their career path that allowed them to get there. What was it that was steps that they took? What was the final thing that let them get into the field? What was the hardest part? And I also wanted to learn about their experiences, like what was their day-to-day? What's their favorite part? What's their least favorite part? Learn the ins and outs so that I knew so deeply well the career of a regulatory affairs professional that when it came time for interviews, I was so confident in my reasons for why I wanted to transition, because I truly believed in the reasons based on what I learned from all of these different people for what they liked, what they didn't like, what passions they derived from it. And I was able to convince myself first and then everyone else that would mirror to me that I was truly confident now, that I wanted to do this and I deserved to do this and I would do a damn good job at it. But in the beginning, I wasn't there. I was very much in my head about it. I was nervous. I was in the same boat that I see these people that I work with now are in the beginning, where they're like, I don't believe I can. They won't say that at first, but in your head, if you are really honest with yourself, if you're facing all this rejection, a part of you doesn't believe that you can. You just literally don't believe you can do it. And if you don't do something about that, either by doing the mental work or by doing the physical actions to get your mindset there, you're not going to be successful. And ultimately, you won't make the transition. You will just keep hitting resistance, or you'll take a job offer that is much too low a salary, much too low an offer compared to what your value is in the market. And so you would ultimately hurt yourself. And so what I recommend for anybody in this position is to do the inner work first, as you're also taking the actions, cleaning up the resume, doing the informational interviews, educating yourself about the transition. And why is it so important for the person to have the same background as you? It's because it's going to subconsciously give you the confidence that you can do this too. Because remember, there's that belief that I don't believe I can even convince somebody to hire me for this because I don't have that experience. Don't think I deserve it. I don't think I can convince anyone of it. But when you hear story after story after story of people who have the same background as you, succeeding in this, getting the job, you're going to program your mind to go, I can do this too. If all of these people, this can't just be an accident. Like, maybe they all did it a little differently, but I can freaking do this. If this many people, and you almost have a little cheering group behind you because they all want to see you succeed. They took the time out and energy out to talk with you about their own careers, and they want to see you have a success. So you get a little team on your side too, and you start to build your confidence, and you're just so sure. You're like, I've done all this work. I've seen what people have done to get here. I should be able to do this. I'm no less than them. When they first made their switch, like, they might have had a similar background as me, similar job that they came out as me, and it's different for each person. Similar could be, maybe you are both, maybe you both had the background of being in grad school. Maybe you both had the background of the same university you went to. Maybe the background similarity is you worked at the same companies, or maybe you were both scientists, or you're both doctors, or you're both, whatever it might be. But you have that similar background, and that's going to help to teach you It's not just an activity to go out and talk to people and hope that someone's going to give you a job. I never tell someone to expect a job out of an informational interview. It is purely educational. Who are you educating? You and your subconscious mind. Eventually, you will brainwash yourself into realizing that you can do this. You will see how many people have done this. I can do this too. I should be able to do this. You might slowly stagger, and then eventually you're just going to get to a point where you've heard enough people succeed that you're going to go, well, I mean, it's going to have to happen. And when you show up to the interview and the hiring manager and all of the people you're meeting with that attitude in your mind, like, I've got this. Of course, why would someone not want to hire me? When I finally broke that mindset, I had 2 job offers. And I can tell you exactly when it was, because it was right before the job offers and the interviews that I finally broke through that mindset of, I am so pissed that I haven't received an offer yet, or something that looks promising, because I've been working my ass off and I've been doing all the things, and then everyone else that I've talked to made their transition. Damn it, I should be able to do this. And then poof, within a week, 2 job offers, like with wonderful companies that had great people. And I was like one of them, that's where I'm working today, and the other one, the person in charge went on hikes with llamas and or alpacas, and I was like, gosh dang it, could have gone on a hike with an alpaca, but it's not the reason. There's a really wonderful company with a great cause. But the thing is, you have to break that mental barrier, and you have to look at your reality and what's being mirrored to you. If I had known all of this and understood all of this, years ago when I was first doing this, it would have been a much quicker transition. And when I help people now, it's much faster than when I went through it, and when the earlier people I helped go through it went through it. Now that I know the patterns, now that I understand the mirror aspect of it, I, without a doubt, I tell them, do X, Y, and Z. And as long as they do X, Y, and Z, they will get job offers, because it's impossible not to when your mindset changes, as long as your goal is still to get a job offer. Like, if you still want it and you've done all the things that have shifted your mindset, you're golden. You just can't screw that up. It's a mirror. As soon as that mindset ping shifts over to here, where you're like, I believe in myself and I should deserve this, that's all that needed to happen. The problem is, you can't just do that, as far as I understand so far, in the snap of the finger. Like, it takes both the mindset work and it takes the active steps to and it's not, so I'll be clear. Largely, it's not what the steps are doing. It's what the steps are doing to the mind. Because I've seen people who finally nail their resume and shortly after get a job offer, because their biggest issue was they didn't believe on paper they looked good. But there have been many times where before the resume was ever even looked at, the decision was almost made. They were already having interest in hiring them. So it wasn't the resume that did it. It was the person changed internally that made them show up differently. And yes, now they have a banging resume, but like, it wasn't the resume. It wasn't even the informational interviews oftentimes. It's that they are convinced that they deserve this and that they can do it. Now, you might say, like, how do you know it was that? And I obviously can't tease the two apart. But I've seen this happen time and time again, where it's, as soon as I can tell that their mindset is shifting, their mirror changes. The mirror is always changing based on what you believe and feel. If you feel bad about yourself and you feel like you don't deserve to have this, and that's one more thing, because it's so important to listen to your feelings. If you are, because some people will go through their journey of like trying to get the get the job, and they try to keep a thick, I don't remember what the term is. Something about an upper lip, stiff upper lip. But like basically they're biting their tongue to not cry every time they get rejected. And maybe they're trying to convince me that like they're still okay. And the second I smell that, I'm like, no, you need to feel what you're feeling, because that's the other thing that will be, that's a part of what's creating the mindset. It's a part of what's maintaining the mindset, is the feelings. Because again, your reality is a mirror. So if you are feeling hurt, upset, frustrated because you're getting rejected, then suppressing that feeling is not going to help you, because until you process that feeling, which is looking, there's a reason those feelings are coming up. The situation the universe and world have decided to take and use to mirror to you how you're feeling happens to be rejection. It's the rejection is actually there to show you what you're feeling and what you're believing. Okay. It's there to help you, because sometimes we're so good at keeping our emotions in check and keeping ourselves so just like present, not necessarily present, but like looking good to others or not bothering others, that we just throw our emotions down the drain and don't process them. But if you don't process your emotions through the process of the job, hunt, and everything, that will contribute to your own failure going forward. So if you are hurt, it bothers you, it makes you sad or mad, feel the feelings, feel the damn feelings, be pissed off, be sad, be hurt. Don't let it, completely crush you, but feel that it really sucks. Don't keep a stiff upper lip. You don't have to do it right in front of the interviewer, but like when you're done for the day, process how the hell you're feeling. Does that feel like, crappy? Yeah, probably does. Let yourself feel crappy. Let yourself go, you know what? This sucks, but also this teaches me I must really care about this. This is something important to me. Feeling like you're a little crushed by something, or feeling like this is terrible, this sucks, I'm sad, I'm mad. It's telling you that you want this, you desire this, you deserve this. You're angry because I'm telling you, you're holding the belief that you don't deserve this, but simultaneously you do hold a part of you that believes you deserve this, which is why your heart is pulling you in that direction. But the problem is, if the scale doesn't tip to, I deserve this, and only like 10% of you believes you deserve it, well, 90% of you is fighting you tooth and nail going, you don't deserve this. You don't have the experience for this. Well, that part of you is going to win. And you'll just keep getting rejected. But a lot of, it's the mindset work, it's the taking the actions, but it's the processing your feelings as you go along the way. Do not suppress when you feel sad or angry. Do not suppress when you're feeling like, let down by the process, or like, this is like, why is this happening to me? Let all the emotions out in the process. As the emotions will also flavor your reality. Once you let those emotions flow through you, fly around like clouds in the sky and float away, let them go. Let them exist in you and let them go. They will dissipate over time. When you do that, observe them like clouds in the sky and own your beliefs, change your beliefs, both through the mindset work and then also through the actions. Everything will line up. And then the only thing your world can mirror to you is success, that you deserve a new job opportunity, that you get multiple job offers. It happens every single time that I work with people. And I'm so confident that I'm comfortable sharing this with you guys right now. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. I hope you have enjoyed this and look forward to some future videos with more topics. If you ever have a topic that you're facing and you're like, I really wonder what this is trying to mirror to me, feel free to share it in the comments. I might even make a video out of it. So again, we'll leave it there. I hope you take care and enjoy the videos in the future.